자, 이제 라부아제를 찾으러 릭상부르로 지웠습니다. 라부아제가 아니구나. 로베스피에르를 찾으러 릭상부르로 왔고요. 온 김에 이제 진료소로 갈 수도 있겠죠. 이 일로 바로 갈 수 있는데.
Monsieur de Lafayette, you are safe and sound.
Safe and sound indeed. But with a broken
진료소도 가긴
soul.
해야 되는데.
I have just returned from Place Dauphine.
I understand, monsieur. The Garde Nationale.
I was too late. All these brave men cut down in a single attack. Why was I not among them? Alas, I am condemned to outlive them and to witness an even greater calamity.
What disaster do you fear, monsieur?
It's a highly sensitive matter. I've been waiting in vain for a message of the utmost importance.
Can you tell me more about it?
Ma foi, at this point, I don't really have a choice.
You can speak freely. Have no fear.
Before the king's attack, I sent a squad of horsemen on a very important assignment. They were to collect a precious cargo at Gros Caillou, not far from the Hotel des Invalides.
What sort of cargo?
I'm sorry, Aegis, but I swore on my life to keep it a secret. All I can tell you is
라파에트
that it will
무슈.
give us a decisive advantage.
아주
But I haven't
묵직하시네.
heard from my men.
헤비
I'm
무슈.
worried that the exchange may have met with misfortune. It is paramount that I learn what happened and who has the cargo now. The future of the kingdom depends on it.
Since it's so important, I will go there myself and attempt to solve this mystery.
기병 찾기. 로베스피에르 찾. 아, 이 부가 퀘스트에 이게 많구나. 부가 퀘스트가 뭐 이렇게 많아? 여기 계시잖아.
Ah, you're back. Do you bring me glad tidings?
The abbot is safe and sound. He is at the Société des Amis des Noirs, with Monsieur Raymond and the Bishop of Nancy.
Very well. Very well. May Providence allow them to reach us safely. Though I despise war, we must rally the people for battle as soon as possible. A reliable source tells me the arsenal at Les Invalides is overflowing with weapons, but a royal automat guards it. I now have no doubt that you are capable of defeating such a creature. But are you prepared to go back into the fray?
Yes, I am.
Very well. Try to clear the way so we can access the Hotel des Invalides. Once you've done that, we'll take care of the rest. A handful of patriots are already there. Their task was to open a passage to the east, through the Faubourg Saint-Germain.
Very well. I will go and find them. Goodbye, Monsieur de Robespierre. Monsieur,
What can I do for you, madame?
취해야
how do you
알겠지.
intend to counter the king's actions?
Unfortunately, we don't have the upper hand. For now, we can only hope to protect ourselves from him. I am convinced that something is afoot. Something that could destroy all our hopes in an instant.
You have my full attention.
You should know that I am a gunpowder commissioner. As such, I oversee the provision of gunpowder to the kingdom's arsenals, l'Arsenal de Paris in particular. For the past 2 days, a large quantity of gunpowder from Marsangy has been sitting near Les Invalides. It's in a
Many
warehouse
흔들려.
by the factories. But the men I sent to take possession of the cargo and transport it to the Arsenal have gone missing. Do you realize what this means?
The gunpowder could have fallen into our enemy's hands.
It's possible. One thing is certain. It's enough to destroy half of Paris. Whether it is still in the warehouse or has fallen into the wrong hands, we must find it urgently. Then, if possible, we must neutralize it.
How?
Simply by placing it in contact with water. Nothing could be easier in theory, but we must find a way to flood it.
Flood the gunpowder? You're out of your mind, Lavoisier. We're in the most desperate of situations, and you want to deprive us of such a valuable resource. What will our cannons use once we have formed our army of patriots?
Your army, Marquis, is presently but a figment of your imagination.
I see. So you're one of those men who would sound the retreat before the battle has even begun.
I will go to the warehouse. Once I have located the powder, I will decide what to do with it.
여기 또 서브캐가 많아지네. 이랑 내가 있고 미라보
Monsieur,
얘는 뭐 없네. 얘랑 내가 있고
Eh bien, Aegis, did you make sure my men managed to collect the cargo?
no.
Et alors, the exchange?
나가자. 일단 의사 진료소로 한번 갈까요? 최대한 스킵하면서 있으니까 편하네 이거. 나가. 아, 어딘데? 비켜. 아이, 빨리 가는 길 없나? 이런 건 먹고 가야지. 이거 다 막혀 있는데. 깡. 좋아. 여기구만. 여기서 한번 저장해. 마음껏 때리세요. 비켜. 바로 여기야. 삽삽. 좋아. 해독할 수 없습니다. 기록 해독하기. 오, 장비를 주네. 아니 이것도 좀 별로야. 앞모습을 좀 볼까? 뭔가 이상한데? 지구력은 참 좋아. 기록 해독은 어디서 해야 되지? 나 따로 해야 되나? 내가 먹은 거 어디 있지? 아, 무슈 바이한테 물어봐라. 무슈 바이가 어디 있었지? 여기 있네. 장실뱅 바이. 장실뱅 바이도 여기 있는데? 아, 거기 있나? 아, 어쨌든 그 의사 무슨 의사의 진료소에 갔다 와서 잔뜩 부가 퀘스트를 받았고요. 이제 병원 해방이 메인 퀘스트인데 가까운데? 가까운 거부터 할까? 피 묻은 제복 조각.
Barrels were stored and rolled away. These grooves prove it. It would appear that gunpowder was taken to the Bastille.
우리가 나왔다 해. 이제 여기는 다 봤나? 다음 가까운 데가 기병도 찾아. 여기잖아. 열어놨나? 문 열었고요. 이쪽을 통해서 가야 되나? 여기는 어떻게 가야 되지? 왠지 이쪽을 먼저 가고 싶긴 한데 교환 장소로 먼저 가야 되나? 안 싸워. 아니 엄청 모으네. 딴 데부터 갈 걸 그랬나? 맞다.
Dieu Tout-Puissant!
Madame de Polignac,
It's dreadful, Aegis. All is lost.
how were you able to leave Saint-Cloud?
Earlier, after you ventured out into the palace grounds, all of the machines that were guarding us set out after you. I seized the opportunity to go to the stables and jump into a horseless carriage.
What are you doing here, Madame?
The children, Aegis, Charlotte and the Dauphin, the Queen and the Marquis de Lafayette did everything they could do to save them from the King's madness. They spent days working out every detail of this operation with the greatest secrecy. The preparations for departure with our accomplices in the Queen's house, the children's escape hidden inside this wagon, our meeting here in this very place, then our departure with the riders who were to ensure our safe passage all the way to Austria. They would have been safe there with their uncle, the Emperor, but you can see for yourself. The children are nowhere to be seen. Poor Monsieur Cléry. He was the Dauphin's valet. The poor soul gave his life to protect the little ones.
Madame,
말이 따로 먹구만. 뭐 이렇게 많아?
a red cap with a rooster embroidered on it. A list of staging posts between Paris and Liège. Perhaps Madame de Polignac will know what this means. 4 horses for 3 men. Someone is missing. Madame, the attackers all bear the same red cap with an embroidered rooster.
It's the symbol worn by
Bonjour.
those who support the Duc d'Orléans.
One of them had a map indicating all the staging posts from here to the Principality of Liège.
Liège. That rabble-ridden city is where the Duke and his miscreants have established their base.
Over here, there are 4 dead horses, and the body of a 3rd man wearing a red cap.
4 horses for 3 men. That means one assailant managed to get away. It's beyond doubt. The Duke's men have taken the children. They're the ones behind this ambush. And they knew every detail of our plans. We were betrayed.
But surely the ambush did not go exactly as planned. 3 of them lost their lives.
That's true. If only we could catch the one who was able to escape. But now that I think about it, the riders that the Marquis de Lafayette promised us, if they made it here, they may have been able to surprise the kidnappers and stop them from carrying out their misdeed. By the grace of God, they may already be on their way to Vienna with the children.
I shall get to the bottom of this. Which garrison is this squad from?
They are stationed at the Hôtel des Invalides. The riders must have left from there.
Very well. I will try to retrace their steps. As for you, please return to the Queen at once. You have taken enough risks as it is.
Find the children, Aegis. Je vous en supplie.
와. 이제 다시 먼 길을 떠나야 돼. 평온해봐. 너랑 안 싸울래? 여긴 반대에서 열어야 되고. 잘했어요.
The pseudo-Robespierre's men. They perished in the line of duty.
시 활성화. 좋아. 일단 보캉송의 적대부터 갑시다.
A hiding place in the Luxembourg Gardens. I should keep looking.
뤽상부르의
Athénaïs, pour l'amour de Dieu, run and hide!
What do you mean, Papa?
Hurry, I beg you! The Count is at our door. He shall take us away.
Good heavens!
Don't worry about me. Run, I say. Run!
Where could she have escaped to?
얼굴.
That hiding place in the Luxembourg Gardens. If I could find out
없는데?
where it was, I could track Athénaïs.
얼굴. 여기구나. 네, 이것도 반격이니까 놓고. 아, 이것도 좀 별로야. 균형이 좀 높긴 하네. 기병을 여기서 찾으러 갈 수 있나? 이렇게 갈 수 있네. 근데 저기는 내가 왔던 데잖아. 지금 당장은 못 가네. 정원부터 해방합시다. 또 먹어. 이것도 먹고. 그럼 최대한 옆으로 돌아서 아주 좋아요. 그렇고 칸 열어버렸고 못 가죠? 시다. 갈 수 있는데? 여기는 무슨 의미가 있지? 폭발저 폭발을 정말로 저항하고 싶나 보다. 한번 갔다 와볼까요? 갔다 오자. 다시 돌아올 수 있겠지 뭐.
They're after us. You must carry on, I beg you.
I'll make it. I'm out of breath.
Oh, mon Dieu, Suzanne, just a bit more. We're almost there.
배중식에 놓고 가셨구나. 꽤 꽤 멀리 돌아왔는데 너도 그냥 와. 아니 그걸 맞아도 그냥 때려버려. 때리고. 와 얘는 아예 역백을 한다네. 얘 보스가 있는데? 아하. 그러면은 살짝 한번 봐주고 와야지. 주변에 아무것도 없나? 이런 데 있을 텐데.
The Ottomans ravaged the church and slaughtered the faithful.
땡 마리 성당 미셸로 신부. 다시 다시 너무 멀리 있어. 아. 아유 아파. 와, 씨 뭐야? 두 방 맞으니까 죽네. 너무한 거 아니야? 지나갈게요. 요시. 엄청 멀리 날아가는 건데. 오, 드디어 비스무트 조개가 나왔어. 아주 좋아.
It's going to give way.
Right, Susan! It's too late!
John! No!
여성 가발. 일단 여기 편향상부터 활성화 좀 시키고. 아, 비스무트 주배 하나 더 있어야 되네. (1300) 정도. 네. 방어, 치명 타겟수. 일단 기력이랑 내구도를 좀 찍어봅시다. 일단 지구력 한번 찍고, 이쪽으로 가면 병원 해방인데. 아까 그럼 거기를 먼저 갔어야 안 맞았네. 병원의 정수는 참 많이 나와.
They're back.
It's going to be all right. This machine is alone and the door is barricaded.
It won't hold. Did you see how easily those demons entered the church?
책방사의 부인.
Don't be afraid. I mean you no harm.
Oh, Seigneur, he can speak.
What do you want with us, Automat?
What happened in this church?
You should know. It was your kind that slaughtered these lambs. I don't think those who were able to escape stand much of a chance either.
Where are the survivors?
They're hiding in the catacombs behind the church.
There's also the gentleman that the automats took alive.
Where did they take the gentleman?
We haven't the slightest idea.
That's enough questions now. Leave us be, Vertu.
저쪽으로 가야 되는구나. 여기는 다 어떤 데겠죠? 여기 됐고. 나이스. 생활정치. 얘 내가 안 왔던데. 여긴 잠겨있고. 아니 넌 왜 또 여기까지 오니? 싸가지 없이. 여기는 또 내가 왔던 데는. 컷을 뚫는 데 의미가 있었던 건가? 여기서 어떻게 가야 되지? 일로 가야 되는구나. 조금 봤네. 한 명씩 볼래? 지기. 쎄. 얘 왜 있는 공간이야? 되게 계단식으로 올라가기 좋게는 부터 좀 열어놓고 이제 좀 위를 보고 다녀야 돼. 아씨. 뭐야, 여기로 왔잖아. 결국 일로 왔네. 여기도 있다. 통증지. 저기 가기 전에 못 갔던 데 한번 가볼까요? 여기에서 전에 이쪽 이런 애들이 몇 마리가 있는 거야 여기? 이런 애들만 있어? 이렇게 있구나. 수고하세요. 아 여기 아니잖아. 맞나? 여기에서 이쪽 밑에 뭐 먹을 게 있나?
I am getting closer to Les Invalides. Here, I should be able to cross the moat easily.
오케이. 그러면 제발 먹을 거 있나 한 번만 싹 보고. 아니네, 이건 어차피 밖으로 내려가는 길이구나. 우세. 우쉬, 능력력. 여기서 그냥 점프? 점프.
The debt was no longer sustainable, Your Majesty.
되게 다 찾았다.
Your mechanical revolution has changed the face of the kingdom, but the coffers are woefully empty.
The debt, Monsieur Necker. This debt that you and your banking friends helped to create for your own benefit, and which is now forcing us to levy new taxes. Will my subjects be able to bear another tax?
Yes, Your Majesty, as long as it is distributed fairly. The representatives of the nobility, the clergy, and the Third Estate must come to an agreement. That is why we have convened the Estates General. Tomorrow you are to preside over the opening ceremonies.
Your Estates General. Nothing good can come of it. You have roused the spirit of rebellion. All I hear about are their damned cahiers de doléances. My rightful enjoyment is being challenged. The streets of Versailles are teeming with loudmouth fanatics with sacrilegious thoughts. Tell me, Monsieur le Ministre, have you purposely set this army of the unwashed against me?
Your Majesty, I have always been your most faithful servant.
Beware, Necker. Beware. I have a surprise in store for anyone who dares attack my throne.
이게 딱 봐도 보스인데? 이거 맞아? 아니 뭐 여신상도 없이 바로 보스를 하는 게 맞나? 날 가봐. 물약발로 잘해봅시다. 얘는 약점이 어딜까? 저거 그냥 저거 할 때만 열쇠 꽂을 때만 잘하면 될 것 같기도 하고. 아야. 더 얻어오는구나. 먼저 역시 보스전이 쉬워.
Suzanne, my dear Suzanne, take my hand, please. Don't let them take me away. No. Oh no, this has to stop. I don't want to be tormented anymore.
That is not my intention. I have come to rescue you.
Rescue me? But what on earth are you?
It is of no importance. What did you see and hear before you regained consciousness?
I had frightful visions. rageful wraiths filled with pain and sorrow. And it was cold enough to curdle the blood. Oh, it's impossible to describe. All the rage and anger. I was in another body, I think. So big, so powerful. And there was this commanding voice, ordering me to spread terror and death. Did I really hear it? Or did I momentarily lose my mind?
Who are you, monsieur?
Don't you know? I'm Jacques Necker, Ministre des Finances. Well, I was before I was captured. But this situation suggests that the king has decided to dismiss me from his service.
What does he accuse you of?
My alleged connivance with the Third Estate, no doubt. And, most of all, for having been the first to ask to convene the Estates General.
How and when were you captured?
When the machines attacked, my wife and I fled our home to hide not far from there, in the Église Sainte-Marie. But we didn't stand a chance against the machines. They overran the nave, wantonly mowing down the faithful. My wife, my poor wife, she wasn't able to escape. I'm sadly convinced of this. As for me, my life was spared only so I could be tormented. What is the meaning of all this?
What will you do now?
There is no future for me in this kingdom. I need to find a safe place where I can prepare for my departure as soon as possible.
I will take you to the Cordelier convent. You will be safe there.
뭐야, 바로 이동을 해버리네? 아니, 좀 미리 말을 해주셔야지 이동을 한다고.
À la bonne heure, she's back.
Aegis, what a joy and relief to see you again.
Monsieur,
Welcome to our stronghold. I'm sure that everyone here is aware of the great debt we all owe you. As you can see, the most exhausted among us are growing stronger.
While the most determined are already planning our counterattack.
I did not expect to see you all together.
4 days ago, the representatives of the Third Estate gathered in a tennis court. They swore not to separate until they had established a constitution for the nation. But that was not the only oath we swore. All the honorable men who were at Versailles, representatives and patriots, members of the Club Breton, secretly swore to meet here if they were dispersed.
You, Aegis, have allowed them to gather once again. Though unfortunately many are missing, we still have hope.
Why did you choose to meet in this convent?
It was my idea. Voyez-vous, I stay here whenever my obligations bring me to Paris. No other retreat inspires such peace and contemplation. Et puis, truth be told, this building has always felt like a fortress to me. Just look at how thick these walls are.
For 2 whole days, the patriots in the quarter consolidated the outer walls to make it an impenetrable citadel. No automat has broken through our defenses yet.
Where are the monks, mon père?
They are secluded in their quarters, praying for the salvation of the people of Paris. However, we bear no illusions. We are weak, we are divided.
And we are unarmed. Without you, without your warrior strength, we have no chance of turning things around.
그럼 나보고 다
You are sent
해달라는
by
거네.
heaven above, Aegis. From now on, you may consider the Cordelier convent your headquarters and a welcome refuge.
We must speak, you and I, in private, if you please. Monsieur de Lafayette must not hear a word of what I'm about to tell you.
What do you mean? You all seem to be certain that I will use my strengths to serve your cause. Are you forgetting that I have a task to accomplish?
Not at all, madame. We all know and support your plan to free Monsieur de Vaucanson. That is why I've taken the time to think of a way for you to get to the Bastille.
I am listening.
There is a patriot in Paris whose pamphlets have aroused Monsieur de Lafayette's ire. His anger is so strong that the poor man had to disappear to escape arrest. I know that he is secretly hiding in the quarries in Montmartre, a labyrinth he is said to know like the back of his hand. If anyone can help you navigate the obstacles that keep you from the Bastille, it is the elusive Monsieur Marat.
Very well. I will go and find him. Monsieur Necker,
I owe you my life, madame. So I am embarrassed to ask you for anything more.
do not fear. You have my full attention.
Suzanne, my beloved wife. I cannot bring myself to accept her death. Despite all the evidence, I still hope to see her alive again. I need to be sure. Mon Dieu. What have I done to deserve such a fate? Why has the king sworn to destroy me? And all that I hold dear. After everything I've done for him. My abnegation.
Why would the king owe you anything?
I dedicated my life to the kingdom as his minister. Well, my life and my fortune as well. I refuse to accept any remuneration for my services in order to keep the accounts balanced. And I personally filled the king's coffers with 2.5 million livres from my own private accounts. Bonds in the Caisse d'Escompte, which the king keeps in a tailor-made armoire d'affaires in the Palais des Tuileries. He stores all his secrets there. I'd wager there's enough in there to sully his reputation 100 times over. You must retrieve these bonds post-haste, madame. They must not be used to allow this madman to build more murderous automats.
Do I have any chance of opening it?
Don't even think about it, madame. Despite your incredible strength, that safe is said to be impenetrable. It was designed precisely to that effect. I personally never had access to it. I suppose that its contents were too unofficial for the honest minister that I always was.
Who has the key?
The king does, that's for sure.
Anyone else?
How could I know? His shadow advisors, most likely. Now that I think about it, there's a rumor that has been going round Versailles for a while now. It's said that Monsieur de Mirabeau used to come and go as he pleased at the Tuileries, that he oversaw diplomatic missions for the crown. Not in any official capacity, of course. Who knows? He might know more about this matter than I do.
I will ask him.
여보도 여기 있잖아.
I will look into what happened to your wife.
Bless you, madame.
Where should I start my investigation?
In the Faubourg Saint-Germain, east of Les Invalides. We were separated in the Église Sainte-Marie, on Rue de Bourgogne.
I shall be off.
You are the only hope of seeing my beloved wife again, and of foiling the plans of the clockwork tyrant.
Aegis, a word, s'il vous plaît.
라이모.
Monsieur Raymond.
Aegis, we are very pleased to see you again. It was very unwise of us to leave the Société without such a capable bodyguard as yourself. It is a miracle that we got here safely.
What do you want to talk to me about?
Have you ever heard of the Club de Massiac, Aegis?
No, monsieur.
It's an association that meets at the Hotel de Massiac, just west of Les Halles. It counts some of the wealthiest plantation owners in the empire. Those from Saint-Domingue and the Petite Santilles, our most formidable adversaries. They are waging a war of influence to keep the slave trade going, and resort to the vilest methods to achieve their ends. They worship nothing but money, and their greed is matched only by their cruelty. Regrettably, my interests occasionally require me to suffer their company. 2 months ago, I was in Le Havre to settle some business with the Admiralty, when I overheard a conversation between two planters from Bastère. If they are to be believed, the Club de Massiac is plotting to create sleepless slaves, des esclaves sans sommeil. Those were their exact words. It's hard to say what this could possibly mean, but I fear they plan to administer some foul drug to their slaves to force them to toil day and night, without rest. Our organization will not let these poor souls endure such a hell. Aegis, we must look into this. It is a matter of great urgency.
You speak of greed, Monsieur Raymond. But could you enlighten us as to what makes you any different from the planters you condemn?
What exactly do you accuse me of, Monsieur de Robespierre? S'il vous plaît, do tell.
Do you not also exploit the labor of these poor souls yourself on your indigo plantation?
I fight every minute of every day to improve their condition. No one would have the audacity to deny this.
If that's the case, then why wait? Free them. You preach abolition, yet you continue to line your pockets at their expense. The truth is, you refuse to upend the established colonial order because your entire fortune depends on it.
It's easy to criticize from atop Mount Olympus, Maximilian. You know nothing of the realities of Saint-Domingue. What would happen to all these people if I freed them tomorrow? Without an education, without a livelihood, I would be condemning them to the most abject misery. No. I must act with both compassion and realism.
Any reform, revolutionary or not, must be taken step by step, with moderation and prudence.
This reform is not so difficult. I've begun it myself at La Belle Gabrielle, my plantation in Guyane. There you will not find slaves, but workers who earn a weekly wage. And my plantation is no less profitable.
Ah, yes, profit. Because that's the most important thing. Don't you see, the law of nature gives every man the right to cultivate his own land.
Monsieur, calm yourselves. I implore you. Now is no time
왜
to quarrel.
니들끼리 싸워?
What Monsieur Raymond has related to us is extremely worrying. We must find out more about this plot to create sleepless slaves as quickly as possible. Aegis, you are the only one who stands a chance of making it to the Hôtel de Massiac alive.
네케르. 무슈 바이는 어디 있는 거야? 로베스피에르. 여기 있다.
Monsieur Bailly.
Ah, mademoiselle. I am very pleased to find you here with us within the shelter of these walls.
이거 해독해달라고 해야죠.
I found a document written in a script that I was unable to read.
Let me see. Ah, je vois. These pages were written using some sort of shorthand. A variation on Taylor's system, no doubt. I'm wont to use it myself from time to time while jotting down my ideas as they come.
What does it say?
It's a bit difficult to decipher. Je crois. I believe it's an autopsy report. The author writes that the subject died from a large dose of prussic acid.
What is prussic acid?
My apologies, Aegis, but I'm no chemist. You should ask Monsieur Lavoisier.
Goodbye, Monsieur B.
바로 옆에 있어서 변하구만.
Monsieur Lavoisier.
What can I do for you, Aegis?
What is prussic acid?
It's a volatile compound extracted from Prussian blue, which is a pigment derived from the cochineal, an insect.
What does it do?
Oh, it's a lethal poison, of the most dangerous sort. Though at weaker doses, it merely induces a deep soporific state, or a coma, if you will.
A deadly poison.
Aegis? Is everything all right?
The clues I found at the warehouse suggest that the gunpowder was moved to the Bastille.
Diable. You must find a way to get there and put an end to this threat.
Goodbye, Monsieur Lavoisier. Monsieur Lavoisier.
What can I do for you, Aegis?
The clues I found at the warehouse.
Diable.
Goodbye, Monsieur Lavoisier.
Eh bien. Do you come bearing new?
No.
I have it on. He's the only.
민중봉대.
Is your plan to arm the populace going as...
Oh, far from it. Even if they were armed.
Why is that?
Most of the strategic points in the city, they are seized by an irrational... This makes it impossible.
The locations you meant the statue holding...
That's right. From what little...
Lanterne des morts. Lanterns of the dead. Ancients, our ancestors, kept a fire going. Today, no one knows what they were used for. Others claim that humans some odious sorcery
That makes sense and confirms. I'm now certain that the King's lanterns captured and that this essence is what allows the automats to stay in motion without needing a key to wind them.
Pater noster quies in celis sanctificetur nomen tuum.
Now that I think about it, madame, You obviously are not subject to the harmful effects of these lanterns.
No, au contraire. When activated, these statues reveal an apparatus that allows me to repair myself.
It follows that if you destroy these lanterns, the people will be free to fight again.
Unfortunately, they are preternaturally strong. Nothing can so much as damage them.
Come now, no metal is indestructible. If we knew what these lanterns were made of, perhaps I could find a way to destroy them.
Where should I start looking?
Start by poking around the factories near Monsieur de Vaucanson's workshop. That's where the automats were forged. I'd wager the lanterns were made there as well.
Goodbye, Monsieur de Robespierre.
근데 내 손으로 세이브 포인트를 박살내라고? 그런 짓을 할 순 없는데.
Monsieur de Mirabeau. Minister Necker claims that you were a familiar face at the Tuileries Palace.
That old story. Will it hound me? And this, madame, is nothing but an unfounded rumor. To what do I owe the
I must get hold of some documents that are kept in an armored safe.
What lock could resist your touch?
Minister Necker said it was indestructible.
Oh, I see. Well, let me think. After all, a lock is nothing more than a simple mechanism. Nothing that can resist the expertise. Why don't you ask him for help?
I'll be sure to do so.
Now, who else might... Oh, there's Monsieur Lavoisier. I'm sure he'll have no trouble finding you.
Good.
Now, if you'll forgive me...
You are forgiven.
In that case, it...
이 새끼 뭘 알고 있는데, 분명히. 얘한테도 퀘스트가 있나? 라파에트한테?
Monsieur le Marquis. I went to the meeting point I had an
Get to the facts.
Madame de Polignac. She made no secret, so now I know all about the precious cargo that is the cause.
Seigneur. The children. What happened? Tell me that nothing...
That remains to be determined. The evidence points to an ambush by the Duc d'Orléans' men.
How?
This ambush could not have taken place.
A plague on Orléans and his damned...
That still remains to be seen. 3 of them lost their lives.
Excellent. But why the hell?
Only they could tell you that.
Would you be so kind as to go and... My hussars are stationed at Les Invalides.
Goodbye, Monsieur le Marquis.
Has anyone seen Monsieur de Mirabeau? Aegis, do you have a few moments?
Certainly, mon père.
I've carefully collected the testimony, but then I compared them with the observations. I came to quite the shock. I believe. Like clocks that never need winding. They get their energy from the souls of the dead, Aegis. They drink from the anima essence that permeates the purgatory described by monsters. These machines feed on the dead. The greater the massacre, the deeper the river with.
얘네가 다 관 속에 갇혀 있었잖아요. 그리고 어떤 기계에 다 대응을 했고. 그러니까 지금 얘도 이 주인공도 뭔가 누군가가 얘를 움직이기 위해 지금 관에 갇혀 있는 게 아닌가 그런 생각이 드네요.
Is there any way to stop the bloodshed, mon père?
I believe there is always, as long as I remain free to pursue. I keep thinking about the 3 Nemes. These echo.
The alchemist?
Precisely, mon ami. And this...
What have we to fear from an alchemist?
Not him, per se. Rather the heretic who has exploited...
What do you fear, mon père?
What do I fear? Nearly 2 months ago, the king forbade anyone from setting foot inside the Église Saint-Jacques-de-la-Bourg. He had the priests forcibly removed. They hardly even had time to... Since then, only our Father in heaven knows what they've been...
Oh dear. Flamel's tomb.
My thoughts exactly, Monseigneur.
What is the lapis philosophorum, mon père?
The Philosopher's Stone. No one knows its true nature. All that is known is that its very existence is questioned. Just imagine what sinister purpose that...
Where is this tomb?
In the church's crypt. But now they're no longer there. We need to know.
But how? There are...
Aegis.
Oui, mon père.
Will you?
해줘.
Did you not say that it...
There is perhaps as the penitent's door behind the Châtelet leads to the Quartier de It's only opened on Good Friday, but this year, here is the key.
오, 그래도 열쇠는 주네.
Goodbye, mon père.
얘한테 대화했었네.
My respects, Monseigneur.
I didn't expect to see you again so soon. We missed you when we had to leave the path that led...
얘는 뭐
Goodbye, Monseigneur.
Allez en paix, Aegis.
How was your search at the Vaucanson?
I found this penknife there. I saw Mademoiselle de Vaucanson running from the This letter refers to a hiding place where she often sought refuge. It's in the Jardin du Luxembourg.
I know the place. One day, Eugène and I were walking in the Luxembourg gardens when suddenly Athenais jumped out from our hiding place like a wild animal. It was a startling, almost... The spot is on the edge of the garden, hidden by vegetation between two statues.
I'm looking for a way to force a lock that is supposed... Monsieur de Mirabeau advised...
But I'm an astronomer. I know my way around lenses. Phil, but I've never given a moment... God, Monsieur de Mirabeau, où est-il, ce brave homme? So...
He has left.
Excuse me, that's madness.
Intriguing and... Monsieur Lavoisier,
What can I do for you?
I would like to access the content area.
And how can
I need gunpowder to...
Gunpowder? Do you think I just walk around?
Oh,
Mirabeau? Where is the animal?
he has left.
Eh bien, if I could inspect the safe and determine... But given the circumstance...
I understand. Goodbye, Monsieur Lavoisier.
힐러리공에 있구나 이거. 어우 진짜 대화가 갑자기 많아졌어. 아 이거 씨 아까 그거 했어야 되는데. 퀘스트 새로운 지역도 하나 생겼고 부하 퀘스트 엄청 많아. 다음에 합시다. 오늘은 여기까지 하고 레버빈 한번 할까? 서신이 또 있네. 아 여기에다가 서신을 보내는 거구나. 이거는 이제 업그레이드를 하나 할 수 있고 내구도 한번 강화하고 은신처를 갖다 찾을 수 있는데 멀어요. 다음에 합시다. 오늘은 여기까지 할게요.